Okay, hello. It is Alpita. And don't mind my hair. I had my hair in a hair tie and anyway, whatever. Nobody cares about my hair except for me. And actually I'm gonna put it up again because it's driving me crazy. So, anyway. So, Feng Shui Friday. Today we are talking about children and creativity and the Aries new moon. I'm sure if you're like me, like everybody and their freaking mother on all social media is talking about this like amazing freaking Aries stellium. I talked a lot about it on Tuesday. A stellium is when we have a bunch of planets in the same sign. Right now we have 7 celestial beings. We have obviously the new moon. We have this. I gotta count because I missed some last time. So we've got the moon. It's only there till this evening. Then we move into Taurus. So the moon, the sun, we have Chiron, and the sun is moving as well because we're going to move into Taurus season in a couple days. So hold on. The moon, the sun, Chiron, which is an asteroid. It is the wounded healer. This is our greatest wound, okay? So it's not a planet. Um, Mars and Saturn, Mercury and Neptune. Okay, I got them all. Uranus is still in Taurus till next week on the 25th. Venus is in. Is it Venus? I think Venus is in Taurus. And Pluto is in Aquarius. So, what does this have to do with Feng Shui? So, if you've been following me for any length of time or you've worked with me, you know that I don't do just one thing. Okay? I combine things. So, if I find my client would be best served by Feng Shui and it's an astrology or human design session, then I bring that in. I've also had human design sessions where I'm channeling a past life. You never know what you're gonna what is gonna come up in a session, but I will tell you, you will get clarity and you will get an action plan so that you can move forward. I I will talk to you when I'm done with my live. Give me that too. Okay, whatever. Little one wants to negotiate about what time we go to the park. Okay, so all this fire energy, and granted, like I said, the moon will move into Taurus, so then we'll have, sorry, my hair is just really driving me nuts. Anyway, I keep fixing this side, but it's this side that's the problem. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna actually start moving into a Taurus stellium because we're gonna have Uranus in Taurus, we're gonna have the sun in Taurus, and we're gonna have Venus in Taurus, right? Oh, and the moon in Taurus, right? So we're moving. So let's talk about Aries just for a second. I know if you're like me, you've seen all about the Aries stellium and the Aries full moon and 7 planets in Aries and blah 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 blah. Aries is the fire. Think of it as the fire starter. Okay, it is the match, it's the initiation, it is the spark, it is the inspiration, it is this fire energy to move forward. And then as the planets start to move in Taurus, or the celestial bodies start to move in Taurus, and now we're actually taking action. So right now is a great time to actually think about your intentions. What is it that you want in your life? Yes, take some sort of symbolic action. And symbolic doesn't mean oh, I wrote it down. Yes, do that, but actually take some action. So for me, it was creating a website, and you'll see it down in the comments. It's it's on Square. It's nothing fancy, but it's a place where people can book. They can see what else I offer because I don't just offer tarot. I don't just offer crystal chakra clearings or feng shui. There's a whole host of things to do. I am actually a certified life coach and business consultant, and I create actions plans with you. It's not just about, oh, what are the cards saying? It's what are you going to do to align with what you actually want in your life, okay? If the cards are saying the 10 a.m., you're going to get hit by the 10 a.m. bus on Tuesday, what can we do so you can avoid that? Okay? And not that I don't believe in fate or destiny, but it's you know, we have to take action. We have to show up. We have to meet our future, where it's at. You can't just sit in your home and wait for things to come to you. Mind you, we do. I do. My groceries come here, my mail comes here, whatever. Anyway, but I'm just saying we do need to take some action. So Aries it's not like all of a sudden you're going to wake up and your whole entire life's going to change. If anybody's saying that, please unfollow them. It's not true. But this is a point of inspiration. It's the next step becomes clearer. Neptune's up there. like, that's a really difficult, Neptune is water, so it's a hard placement for Neptune to be in Aries, but it's like clarity is coming. But you're not going to get clarity as like back in the day for us, Gen X and millennials, where you can print MapQuest directions. You're going to get turn right. And so you go fucking turn right. And then when the next direction comes, whether it's intuitive or logical, whatever, wherever you fall on that spectrum, and it is a fucking spectrum. People need to stop saying that either you're psychic or you're not. We're all psychic. We all have psychic and intuitive uh, abilities. It's just, are you tapped in and have it turned on and listening and following through? It is like a muscle. I hate to say it, but it's just, anyway. So what does this have to do with feng shui? So today we are talking about joy, creativity, and children. And this does mean physical children, and it also means like your pets. It means your pet projects. It could be a place where you can do a placement for your business as an entity outside of the life purpose career area. Anything that you feel is your creation. So don't get, if you're not a parent, don't get, flustered about creativity. So this is your creative energy. And interestingly enough, excuse me, in feng shui, it's not fire energy, it's metal energy. Okay? It's the mind. Our creations start in our mind, our imagination. Okay? And so in this area, and for me, it's actually right here, this wall. See, it's empty. There's nothing there because I don't know what to put there. So first of all, let's talk about where it is. So if I was standing at my door, right, the door of my bedroom, it is the center of the right wall. Okay? Center of the right wall. And that includes your property. Again, the property is you standing with the road behind you at the end of your driveway or the end of your street or whatever it is, the property line. Okay? And that's how you orient the Bagua, which is the energy map, those 9 areas. And again, I do form school, which is the Black Hat Tibetan sect, BTS, and created by the late Professor Lin Young. So I don't do the compass school. I do not use the compass. Sometimes I'll bring in the compass if I'm like doing some sort of like transcendental cure. These are cures or placements that have been handed down by Professor Lin Young and other, feng shui practitioners that work on the energetics. And those are followed like recipes, unless you need to tweak stuff because it's not in alignment with your culture. Okay. So those I will occasionally use the compass, but I usually do not use the compass at all. I do not move things because the month changed or the year changed. I move things when I need a change in that area. Okay. So people do different things. So there's 2 different schools, the compass school and the form school. I do form school. So again, center right wall. So not on the side where your prosperity corner is, the other side, the center wall. And again, you can use it on your property. You can use it on your home. If it's your home, you are at your front door and you are looking into your home or apartment or whatever it is. You can do it with your car. If you're doing your car, it is your car door, the driver's door. That is your entry point. If it's your wallet, if it's your wallet, you're looking into your wallet. If it is your purse, I've done it with my purse. Like, where do I put my keys? Where do I put my, yes, you can do that. Where do I put my phone? Where do I put my business cards? My business cards would always go in the back pocket because that is fame and reputation. In that little pocket in the back, right? Great place for your business cards to get that fame and reputation. And you always want to do this with intention. You want to state an intention out loud. And you want to use the 3 secret reinforcements, which if you're curious about that and you want an actual written script, or not script, but the written directions plus a video where I show you actually how to do it, it's $9. Like, message me and I'll send that over to you. So again, it is the center of the right hand wall. This is joy, creativity, and children. Okay? And it is a metal element. And the reason we're talking about it today is because all the things that we're starting right now, and if you're like me, where you're like, okay, I'm making a website and I'm doing this, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore, and I want to do this, and making changes in my health, making changes in my home, making changes in my attitude, and things like that, you want to think about the end result in mind. So that's why we're doing joy and creativity. It's like, not how do I make more money, but how do I make more money in an aligned way? Okay? Because there's a million ways to, probably more than a million ways to make money, but is it in a way that feels fulfilling, that brings you joy, that brings you the amount of money you want or need or desire, but also that you are happy doing it, that you wake up every day and you're like, oh, fuck. So you don't have a case of the Mondays. If you know, you know, right? So you get up and you are excited to show up. Like, I love doing these lives. You can see I'm like, I'm talking to my hands. I love doing this. I love what I do. Okay. And so you want to bring joy in it. Finding that life work balance, which I feel like is harmony. It's that yin yang. Okay. Think of it, it's not, it's part of the whole. It's not like, and some people do compartmentalize it. They like to go punch in the clock and then punch out and forget about their job. And that, if that's you, awesome. So maybe this area is not about your business, but it's about your joy. It's about your hobbies, right? So with this Aries energy, we do not want to put fire here. Okay? We do not want to put fire here. We want to balance the fire, okay? Because fire melts metal. Okay? That's the elemental cycle, okay? There is a supportive elemental cycle and a destructive elemental cycle, okay? Constructive and destructive, right? So here what we want to do is you want to look at your life, you want to look at your energetic state, meaning how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling fired up? All this Aries energy. Are you feeling focused? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling scattered? Are you feeling burnt out? What are you feeling? Okay. And also, like, look at your astrology. Where is um, Aries in your chart? Because we all have Aries in our chart, whether you have planets there or not. So I'll give you an example from me. Aries is in my second house, which is the house of values. Yes, it's money, but it's the house of values. What do you value? Right? And I've got Jupiter there, the planet of expansion. So this is a time for me to expand the things that I value. Okay? And expand doesn't mean having more children. It just means like expand the experience, the joy, the creativity, whatever, right? Um, Obviously money is one of those that I'm focusing on. And I also have Chiron there. So uh, if you are in your late 40s, early 50s, and you have Chiron in Aries, it's almost over. It's almost over. I don't remember what the date is, but it's almost over. Very soon. Okay. Um, and I'll look it up and I'll put the date in. Like, as soon as we move into Taurus, that pressure comes off, and like, but you have to do the work. Because Chiron is the wounded healer. So this is our original wound, that separation from our mom that we need to make peace with. Because it really is. I mean, there's healing that has to happen. There's all sorts of stuff. And if you're interested in that, that is definitely something that I work with my clients on. The whole Chiron return. Because that's what happens at 50, at that 50 age range, from like 47, 46 to 53, I think it is. Chiron is in a sign, I believe, about 7 years. And so you're gonna feel it, okay? So for me, it's like that ultimate healing. And I do see it. I am showing up differently. I am putting my needs first. I am honoring my truth. I am speaking my truth. And some people are not happy about it. And that's okay. You don't have to be happy about it. You can unfriend, you can unfollow, you can whatever. But this is my time for me to really step into who I really am and to let go of that whole, I can't say that because somebody's going to get upset or not like my truth. And as much as you may see me as this really outspoken person, there are times in my personal relationships when I really care about somebody, or there is an obligation there, or especially if money's involved, that I tend to bite my tongue and keep the peace. And now it's Aries is like, yeah, fuck no. We're not doing that no more. You don't like it? There's the door. Like, literally, there's the door. Okay? So we want to look at this stuff. Aries is hitting people, and all these great astrologers out there that are like, oh, if your sun's in Aquarius, this is what you're going through. Maybe, but you gotta look at your birth chart, because your rising sign is more important as to how the where Aries is in your chart than your sun sign. And I'm not saying that stuff isn't relevant. There is some truth to that, but where Aries falls in your chart is so much more important than what freaking sun sign you are. Okay, so I invite you to go look up your chart. And if you'd like a session, I combine astrology and human design. I will put that on the site, or you can message me. Okay, I haven't put that one on. I was working on that when 12 o'clock came around in order for to do this live. So that's really important. So that's why we're children and creativity. So what do I want to expand? How do I want to focus my creativity? Which is really interesting, because for me, I know it's metal element here. Okay, and actually one of the 9-star key branch, it's not really a branch, but the 9-star key Chinese astrology. So we have the 4 pillars. There's the Bazai, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, and the 9-star key. 9-star key is a Chinese astrology system that is based on the Feng Shui Bagua. So in that system, I am a double metal, and I forgot what the other one is. I think it's earth. And this is one of the areas in my 9-star key. Okay, so this is an important area for me. And as an air sign, that's metal element. So I definitely want to put something there that is going to help me focus, because I get started on something and then I'm like, ooh, pretty shiny. Okay, I'm like Doug in Up. Ooh, squirrel. Literally sometimes. That's why like my desk is not oriented towards the window, because I can get sidetracked. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that daydreaming will bring in new inspiration, and then sometimes it's a distraction. So if you find that you are overwhelmed, if you've got too many ideas, if you want to get focused and this fire energy is like, I want to do something, I want to change things, metal is what you want to put here. So what does that look like? So for me, it might be putting up a metal sculpture. Now, mind you, this is my bed. These are my pillows, right? So I'm very hesitant to put something here because I don't want it to fucking fall on me. We used to have a tapestry here many years ago, and like if you leaned on it, it was only up with push pins because we didn't know how to put it on the wall, and it would fall, and push pins would go flying around. So being mindful of what you put there. So metal can be actual physical metal. So let's say I had a table there, I could put a metal container or a metal sculpture or a metal picture frame, right, with something important to me, my children or something like that, or my business logo in a metal frame. Okay, that's how that would show up. But also metal is the colors, right? Silver, gold, copper, specifically gold, silver, and copper, the golds and the silver tones. You can put copper in here if it goes with your decor. Remember, your space should not look like, the feng shui fairy showed up and sprinkled red ribbons and crystals and wind chimes all over it. That's not what we do, okay? That's not feng shui. Feng shui is literally bringing harmony into your space so that you can align your life to what you want. And I know I'm kind of butchering it, but seriously, you want to bring harmony into your space. You don't want to just put a whole bunch of feng shui stuff all over the place. And I can walk in there and be like, oh, I see you got a feng shui book. I should not be able to see it. Okay? That's how good your feng shui should be. Okay? But at least people should not be able to come in there and be like, oh, this is a Victorian home with a touch of what, Chinese dynasty? If that's your aesthetic, go for it. And I'm not trying to, make fun of it, but it's like I literally went into a woman's home and I'm like, oh, I see you've had a feng shui practitioner come in here. And she's like, how can you tell? And I was just like, I can see it. And, that was the end of that conversation. So, oh, I really love her, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I'm one too. And I dropped the conversation because I'm not going to insult her, but also, like, it was really cringe level to me. Everybody's got a different aesthetic. She loved it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like when I do a feng shui session, When I see something in somebody's space and I'm just like, oh my God, what the fuck were you thinking? I'll ask. I'll be like, oh, please tell me about that item, because I don't want to put my negative shit on that. Because like my best friend loves clowns. She's got like clown figurines, and her mom collect them. And I'm not a clown fan. I'm not a it clown fan where like, or like cringe where like clowns scare me. But it's just not my aesthetic. So I'm not gonna put that on somebody. I'm not gonna tell them that clowns are whatever, because they're nothing to me. Okay, oh, cute, funny, whatever. It's not my thing, right? um so some people are terrified of spiders or bats and things like that. We don't put that on people. We just ask. All right, and then if they say something that's like, oh yeah, I can see that, then we talk about it. If it ain't broke, we don't fix it. So, metal element. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you have all these ideas and you want to get focused and actually take action, metal element. And that can be like a pearlescent white. The pastels are part of the metal element, right? So like a pale pink, a pale blue. Like I see like pearly colors. Like if you know what I'm talking about, I was an art major. An art and computer science major. So like those pearly paints, right? Right? Excuse me. Iridescent stuff would be really great here. Any kind of chrome or metal finish would be great here if you want to get focused and actually take action on all those yummy Aries ideas that are popping into your head. Now, if you are taking action and you feel burnt out, we want to bring some earth element into here, okay? Because earth, actually, no, earth will help you get motivated. I apologize. Earth will help you get motivated because metal comes from earth. Okay, so what earth element looks like is like a terracotta pot, or uh, a scene of like earth, right? Like browns, greens, those sort of colors, right? Green is also prosperity, but a wood element, but really the browns, the gold, the not golds, but like yellows and those sort of colors, right? So I could do a scene like that here. If I'm feeling burnt, if I'm not feeling inspired, I can put earth here, okay? And if you are feeling burnt out, you want to bring in some water element to bring that Aries down, okay? Especially if you've got a lot of Aries placements in your chart already, and then these planetary alignments are hitting you hard, you want to bring in some water elements. So that would be blues and blacks. It could be a water scene, like a painting. It could just be a plant. Um, Hold on, let me rephrase that, because I had an image. I see like a fishbowl almost. Like you could put a fish there. You could put an aquarium. But like a fishbowl with like clear and blue marbles and like some flowers, some fresh cut flowers. And in Feng Shui, we do not do like potpourri and dead plants. We don't do that. That's negative energy, okay? So once those flowers start to wilt, you need to get rid of them, okay? So don't put fresh cut flowers in any area of your home if you're not going to take care of them. So that means changing the water every 2 to 3 days according to the plant. Talk to your florist or wherever you get your flowers on how to take care of them. If you're not going to take care of them and you're just going to let them like turn into like kindling and decay, don't put that there, okay? But water element is the blues and the blacks and marbles. Some crystals fall in there. Crystals are kind of like you can put blue crystals here. You can put some crystal quartz here. Crystals are more earth element, but you can, if it's like a nice crystal quartz cluster, that will bring in water element and earth element. So some things are multi-elemental. Like if you've got a crystal that's got some like zinc oxide in it or some hematite in it, that's bringing in metal element, and then you've got the earth because it came from the earth. So these are some things that you can do in Feng Shui to help balance the Aries energy. So I don't just go in there and do Feng Shui. What is going on in your life? What are you looking to create in your life? What is your next chapter? What is it like? Is your business like not creating the results you want? Do you want to bring in a partner? There's always a reason. We don't do just Feng Shui to just do Feng Shui. Okay? There's always a reason why we want to do that. And this Aries new moon is a great reason. to bring in some feng shui into your space and to really activate that joy and creativity, because that fire element is really lighting up this area. Okay. I know it is for me, and it probably is for most of you. Okay. So the other thing that I want to share with you, if I can find it, was stop. I did say that I would give you a special treat if you showed up. Give me a second. I gotta find it. I've got it on my phone. I know I should have pulled it up before, but if I did, it would. Okay. All right. So yes. So, um, so we're gonna bring in the whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're doing Earth because you're feeling depleted, you need ideas and things like that, you're going to do the ceramic bowl, a stone or a crystal, or even a stack of books. I forgot about that because that is earth element, right? um, a painting would be great here. Okay. And then you want to do an intention. So your intention, whether you do the 3 secret reinforcements, which I highly recommend that you do, you want to do something like when you place that there and you set your intention. And the 3 secret reinforcements is actually a mudra, a mantra, and the intention. But if you do not want to purchase that from me, I want you to think about something like using an intention like, I am supported, I don't have to rush, I can hold this energy. Okay. Or if you're not feeling inspired, because of how Aries is hitting your chart, you can say something like, I am supported, I am open to inspiration and ideas. Okay. And I execute on my timeline. Okay. Because sometimes Aries energy will push us and be like, do it, do it, do it now. And it's like, okay, but like, do you know what you're going to do? Like, throwing spaghetti at the wall is not going to get you there faster. Okay, actually, it's going to create chaos, and then there's a lot of cleanup. So just being mindful of that. You can put some metal energy in here if you, again, metal energy is for focus. If you need more focus, okay, it will also bring in inspiration, right? So here you want to put something like, I am open and I am focused. I am open to new inspiration and I am focused. If you already have a lot of ideas, you want to set an intention like, I know exactly what to do with this inspiration that is coming through. I am focused, I am clear, and I am taking action. I am taking aligned action. Okay, so these are some of because remember, metal brings structure in. Okay, so we want to, that's another thing you can say. I am open to all these amazing Aries inspiration, and I see and call in the structure that supports their creation. Okay. Um, so it's really important that you are setting intentions when you are doing these placements. A couple other suggestions I had is, I allow myself to create with ease. My creativity has direction. That's another one. It's like, ooh, my creativity has direction. And adding in there what that direction is. You can say something like, I trust all this creativity will find its focus and structure so that I can manifest wealth with it, or whatever it is. I'm just coming off the top of my head, right? So you want to make sure that your intention is clear. It is specific. You don't have to say, oh, my creativity brings in $1,000 a week, although you can, but you can say something like that. I align with this Aries energy of creativity and inspiration, and I am shown exactly what to do with it so that I can align with $1,000 a week in my business. Don't be worried about making it too long. Be more like, don't just say, oh, I feel creative. Okay, you want to be more specific, especially in the metal area. This area and the people, helpful people and travel area that we did last week are both metal elements. So you want to be specific here, I mean, you always want to be as specific as you can be, but also not limiting yourself. So maybe $1,000 a week isn't where you want to go. You might say something like, this is one I'm working on, right? I manifest, 2 times what I need. Okay. So using this, I would say something like, I align my focus and my creativity to receive 2 times the money that I need, or something like that. I mean, it needs a little finessing. And this is a great place where you can take a piece of paper and just start writing these things down and just getting clearer and clearer. You can also use like AI, like ChatGPT or something like that, right?
Just give me one instead of.
Okay, I will talk to you when I'm done. Okay. Also here you can work on your inner child. Okay, so this is a good place where obviously in my bedroom I do not want to have. So this is specifically to the bedroom. We don't want to have pictures of your parents. You don't want to have pictures of your kids. You don't want to have pictures of your ex. You don't want to have anything that has nothing to do with your bedroom. Now, mind you, I work from my bedroom, so that's kind of like a special occasion, right? It's a special circumstance. But we don't want to have things that are not related to our bedroom, okay? But if this was like in my actual home, this actually is the children and creativity area too. Part of it is. But let's say it's your living room, right? So this is a place where you could put a picture of yourself as a child, and you can call in an intention like, I trust and honor my inner child, if you're doing inner child work, right? Or if you want to bring back some of that joy and that creativity and that childlike wonder and being in that flow state of playing and having fun. Also, this is an area where you can look at where your point of fortune is. And the only reason I mention that, this is a calculated point in your astrology. And if you don't know what it is, definitely book a session with me. It is like fascinating. There's a lot of lots and points in astrology that like we don't really use anymore, or people don't use anymore. Sometimes they're called the Arabic lots, and one of them is the point of fortune. So for me, my point of fortune is Leo in the 5th house, and Leo is like being seen, being self-assured, like showing up, being the king, being like, proud of yourself, and allowing yourself to be seen, heard, and valued, right? And the 5th house is creativity, right? It's creativity, it's joy. It is also, I believe, children. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so this is a place where I could put something there to really like bring that energy in and channel my business through the energy of my point of fortune, which is Leo in the 5th house. Okay. The other thing that's really fascinating, and I know I'm going off on these tangents, but this is how I work. Like I pull all these different things in when I do a session with someone, because it's not just one thing. Like when you're dealing with a doctor or a service provider like that, you're diagnosing what the problem is, what the pattern is, what is actually getting in the way of you actually living the life that you want or having the business that you want, and then pulling in the tools that you need. So I'm not the kind of person who's gonna outsource my x-rays or outsource things, although occasionally I will bring in someone else. Like if you want pure marketing, I have people to do that. If you want somebody to do copywriting, I can refer you to someone like that, right? If you're looking for a Reiki practitioner, even though I am certified as a Reiki practitioner, if you're looking for hands-on, I will refer you to someone. So, but my sessions are multidisciplinary, as they say, right? Like using all these different things. So, we look at astrology, we look at things like that. So, and it's important to look at all the pieces, okay? And bring all these things in. So that's why I love blending feng shui, because sometimes people are not open to having a conversation, but they'll move a chair a quarter of an inch. And let me tell you, you think a quarter of an inch, moving your chair a quarter of an inch, or your bed a quarter of an inch or something, it doesn't make a huge impact. Let me tell you, it does. I had a client who had this old, gorgeous antique set that was her mother-in-law's, and her mother-in-law had passed. And it was in her living room. And she had, the U shape, right? The two chairs, the chairs and then the sofa and our coffee table. And you literally couldn't sit in there. And then there was this gorgeous fireplace, and like the energy came into this room and got stuck in it. And I was just like, can we make some space here? Can we move the coffee table out and make it more inviting? And she's like, I actually hate this piece of furniture. She's like, I can't do anything with it because it was my mother-in-law and she's passed away and nobody else wanted it, and her husband wanted it. And really, I would make this my meditation room. And I'm like, isn't there someplace else you can put this furniture? No. And then she had like her meditation pillow and stuff in front of the fireplace. And I was just like, okay, can we just move these chairs a quarter of an inch? Like literally pivot them out like a quarter of an inch. They were like straight like this, right? Perpendicular to the couch. So it created that boxy U shape. I'm like, can we just go like a quarter of an inch out? Both chairs, just tiny bit. I guess. Can I tell you that it was not even a week when her sister-in-law, whose mother this furniture, moved into a new place and said, hey, listen, I know you got that set, but if you don't want it, I could really use furniture and I love that set. And she's like, hallelujah, take it. And I was like, yeah, quarter of an inch can make that kind of change, okay? So Feng Shui is just an amazing thing. And there were other things that we could have talked about, but literally moving those two chairs a quarter of an inch made such a huge difference, okay? So, and I mean, I could sit here and tell you stories about, like, I'll tell you one more story. So this is a practical quarter of an inch, okay? So with my second husband, we lived in a different place, and the dresser was against the windows, and then the bed was next to it, right? And every morning he would stub his toe, and I was just like, dude, like, let's move something. And he's like, ah. So after months of hearing this, finally I just, and our room was tight. Like we had a toddler bed in there and whatever. I just moved the bed, literally pivoted, and like, so the bed wasn't flush against the wall because there was no room to move it, towards my side of the room. But I just moved it like literally probably, okay, maybe an inch. And the next morning, no yelling about stubbing his toe. Yeah. So Feng Shui isn't just practical. But seriously, like, think about it. Waking up every single day and stubbing your toe and believing that your day is going to be a crappy day because you started it this way. And you literally move the bed an inch, and now all of a sudden your day goes better because you believe that made anything for you, okay? It's really powerful. And it does, because when we start our day in a positive way, we're more resilient. Even if shit does come our way, we're more likely to roll with it and be like, whatever. Like yesterday, I was sewing and I was just like, my fusible interfacing, and if you don't know what that is in sewing terms, it's iron on, it's this iron on fabric that you use to stiffen fabrics, okay? And I'm making a Mad Hatter hat, and because I've washed it, because everything in my house comes in here and gets washed, there's not as much of that glue on it. So I'm ironing and it wasn't working, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I wanted to go into this place of like, Elpida, if you didn't need to wash everything, you wouldn't have this problem. And I'm like, no. I know I have a solution for this. And then all of a sudden I remember I have like, it literally looks like gauzy tape, and it's basically like iron-on stuff, and it's like double-sided tape. And all I did was do the edges, and then also at that point my iron was hot enough, and like the whole thing just fused. So when you have this like positive attitude, and I don't want you to do toxic positivity, okay? Like that's just this. But when you wake up in a good mood and things are going your way and you're taking action and you're aligning with the energy of the planets and the energy of like the life that you are wanting to live, small things like that become a like, okay, what can I do, instead of like, what the fuck, this shit again, or whatever, okay? And Feng Shui can help you with that. So anyway, so bring in some earth, metal, or what did we say? Earth, metal, or water. Okay. Oh, water was if there's too much fire. So this is where you would, I forgot to give you intentions around that. I apologize. So if you're bringing in water because all this fiery, and also I want you to kind of feel, because right now what we're doing is we're bringing in things into our joy and creativity and our children area to align with this Aries energy. So if you find that once all these planets start moving out of Aries, um, that what you've done isn't supporting you anymore, you might have to change it. So that's the only time we change things. If things are not working or we have a different intention, you might not need to do anything. But you, like, if, because I'm going to tell you to put water here. So water is not the best thing in a metal area, but it's not a bad thing. Okay. So the reason we're bringing water in here is to calm the fire down of the Aries energy. Okay. But water can rust metal. So it is part of, like, not the destructive cycle, but it's also not constructive, right? So you want to be careful about putting water placements in your joy, children, and creativity. However, what you can do is put in a little bit of water element. And what I talked about is like uh, items that are blue or black, you know, crystals, actual water, like a fish tank or something like that. And the intentions that you want to focus on is I am supported. Okay, I am supported. You can talk about self care. You can say that my business supports my lifestyle, my nervous system, my body, my goals, like bringing in that like alignment for the body, right? For, or you could say something like my business or my creative, whatever it is that you're looking to place there to bring that focus, that creativity. So you can say that all this amazing yummy Aries energy is supporting me um, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, environmentally, and financially. Okay, so you want to bring that in. Again, your intentions are one of the most important things. Obviously, making sure that you're putting the right item and it's the right element so you're not creating problems here is important, but your intention is just as important. If you just put something there and you're like, it's good, we're good, it's not really going to create the effect that you want. Okay. Without an intention, it takes a lot longer and the impact is less. With the 3 secret reinforcement ritual that I talk about, which is $9, like shit can literally manifest in an hour. I've done that. I did some stuff in my fame and reputation, which was what we're going to be talking about next week, which is my window right there. I had a plant over there, and I had an offer. This was many years ago, and I did some feng shui, and literally within the hour, I had 3 people in my inbox wanting to buy that offer. So I need to bring a plant there. So we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about fame and reputation next week. If you want to get a mini feng shui consultation, it's called Reclaim and Reset. That's $333. It's a 90-minute session. We go through, we will look at your entire space, and it is done through Zoom. I will look at your entire space, but we're looking at one heart's desire. What is one thing that you want to create in your life? Okay. And then we do 3 placements and then cures as needed. Okay. So you can book that actually on my website, which is in the link below, or you can message me. That is an amazing session. I'm actually doing it for myself. So there's other services on there. I also am offering a 3-month business alignment package where once a month we get together. We start with a business audit. So we look at your business and is it creating the income and impact in your life and in your client's life that you would like it to do. So that's one. And then we have 2 check-ins. The other option you can do with that is a business alignment and build session where it's a 3-hour session where we actually, not only are we going to do the business audit and create your priority list and your to-do list, like what do you need to do energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically, like actions that you need to take. And sometimes it's self-care. Like that's a big part with my clients. But we will actually take action. We'll look at your offers. We'll look at your messaging. We'll look at the clients that you're attracting. We'll look at your mindset. Last night I actually created a hypnosis audio for myself in order to shift my mindset from bringing in just what I need to bringing in 2 times what I need. So sometimes it's not what you're doing, it's your mindset. It's your subconscious programming that we need to work on. So you'll get that. So it's 3 sessions a month for 3 months. Okay. And if you're looking more on the lifestyle side, if you're looking for self-care, or you have a job but you do not have that work-life balance that you're looking for, if you want to manifest a relationship, or you just feel like your life's good but it's not great, it's not the life that you really desire, I have a 6-month life coaching container. It's called the Aligned Life Program, where we work together for 6 months, 3 sessions a month. And this is energetic work. It is actual action oriented work. You'll leave with like a prioritized list of actions to take. And also with both of these containers, monthly containers, there is in between, like not office hours, but you have access to me in between sessions. Okay. And there are specific times that's available, like Monday through Friday. I do not work on weekends. Occasionally I'll do a session or whatever on a weekend just because of how things line up. But that unlimited support is unlimited. You can send me as many messages as you want, but if you're messaging me on Saturday or Sunday, I will respond to you on Monday. Okay. It's really important for me to maintain that boundary and make sure that I am spending time with my kids and taking care of myself. And I invite you to do the same thing. And if it's an emergency, then you need to call 911 or some other service provider. That's not me, because there are no emergencies on the weekend in the work that I kind of do, in the work that I do. So if that interests you, that is not on the website. That is by application only. Not application, let's just have a conversation and see if it's aligned for you. Okay. And I do have smaller packages and things like that. So yeah, that's what I've got for you today. So I invite you to look at what this area is telling you. Obviously, I mean, I have stuffed animals. I have Toothless. Where's Toothless? I don't know where Toothless is. Usually he's under the pillow. Anyway. So I do have some children and creativity energy here. I thought I didn't. My little Toothless. One of my kids was getting rid of him, and I was like, nope. But there is room for improvement. I'm going to, by next week, I'm going to put something there. Not sure what it is yet, but I'm going to put something there. Metal element. I want to get focused. So, let's see what I have. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, you have what you need. Occasionally we need to buy something because we don't have it. But I find most of my clients have what they need when it comes to Feng Shui. We just have to, look around and find it. So, I hope this has been helpful. I would love to hear in the comments what resonated for you, what you're going to implement, how I can better support you. If you want the 3 secret reinforcements PDF and video, that's $9. Just message me. I'm telling you, it is chef's kiss. It will literally help you align those intentions and manifest them so much quicker. Okay, not everything happens in an hour. That was, well, I mean, every time I've used it, because I always use the 3 secret reinforcements, every time it's really quick. Like, I mean, it depends. Like, if you're doing a placement for a relationship and you don't go out like me, it might take some time. Okay, but where it would normally take like 9 months to a year, it takes 2 to 3 months. So sometimes we have to be patient. I did one for a partner in January of 2012, and literally on New Year's Day, I did a placement for my own creation. It was inspired by an actual traditional Feng Shui placement. I did it on New Year's Day of 2012, and I met my third husband the first weekend of March. So 2 months. Now, mind you, obviously that relationship, but it lasted 13 years, and I have 2 sons, and, I'm very grateful for that. Okay. So that's why that's why it's really important to, one, be really, really clear with your intentions. You don't have to sit there with a thesaurus and a dictionary and make sure you have the exact right words, but make sure that you're putting in the energy that you want. And also, when things start to show up, it's okay to say no. Like, I feel like that's what happened with him. Like, yes, he had some of the things that I was looking for, but not everything. And I was just like, I felt a connection to him. And, we trauma bonded because we were both going through a relationship. I'm just being honest. It's true. It happened, no shame. That's where I was at that point, right? I was going through a divorce and he had just left the relationship and we trauma bonded and I settled. Okay. We all do it. Okay. If I had not been in that situation, I would not have ended up with this person. So when things start to manifest and things start to show up, sometimes we think that first thing that shows up, that's our thing, that's our person, that's our client, that's our opportunity. And it's like, if it doesn't check all those boxes, at least the non-negotiables, right, then we need to be patient and wait. Okay, and trust that the next bus is ours, the next partner is ours, that we have to have patience is what I'm saying. And I know right now with this Aries energy, like, that's where metal element will help you cultivate some patience, some earth will help you cultivate some patience here. Like, that's important because you definitely don't want to put any wood there. Wood is about growth, and like that will just create more chaos. Unless you feel stagnant, you can put some wood energy there. So that would actually be like wooden objects, like a piece of furniture or a wooden frame or a picture of a woodland scene. You can do that as well. But you just got to be really careful because with all that fire energy, that can create chaos, right? That can create brush fires and all that stuff. But when things start to manifest, because they will, whether you do the three secret reinforcements or not, on their timeline, we have to be secure and safe in ourselves that even though we want that partner, even though we want that new client or whatever, that we are not willing to negotiate our boundaries and our values and our priorities. Because that's when we get into trouble. That's when we settle for things and we end up in situations where now we have to make some tough decisions and we have to stop being the nice guy and be the villain in somebody else's story. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we have to do that anyway. But cultivate a little bit of patience. And that is like hard for me. But I'm learning that. I'm learning to trust that what is meant for me will show up. And as long as I'm showing up and doing the work and in alignment and continually working on my energy and taking care of my body and feeding the things that feed me or the things that bring me joy, joy and creativity, then the right people, the right places, and the right situations will find me. I will attract them, okay? That I don't need to rush, that I don't need to settle, that I don't need to worry, that everything is coming. And not the whole divine timing thing, but sometimes things take time, right? Like, there was like this meme during the pandemic where people would place their Amazon orders and then go put a lawn chair out by their mailbox and be like, okay, where is it? We do this to ourselves because we're like, well, it's energy and energy can align and create something immediately. Yes, it can. But sometimes when we want the thing that we want, we need to have some patience and trust. And usually it's that whole watch pot doesn't boil kind of sort of thing. When we take our eyes off of it and we're like, it's good, I ordered it, I told the universe what I want, it's coming, and we just take a step back, all of a sudden you get the notification, it's here. Well, what do you mean? I just ordered it yesterday. It's here. It said that it was going to be 3 weeks, right? It's that kind of energy. When we stop being like, is it here yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? All of a sudden it shows up. Okay. So cultivating some patience. So that's where a little bit of earth would really go a long way here to cultivate that patience, right? To ground you. Um, you know, and you can bring in like hematite would be great here, black tourmaline, any of the darker stones, the browns, the blacks, the blues would be great to, or not the blues, but like definitely, jet, black onyx, obsidian, all the obsidians, hematite, black tourmaline, the jaspers, some of the jaspers, right, the brown ones, right, um, those sort of crystals, and of course hematite would be really great thing to do here to ground, to focus that energy, to sharpen that mental acuity, to bring in focus and sharpness. So there's always something you can do. Like here, I could just literally put some crystals like under my mattress, like on the floor, and call it a day. I mean, I want to put something on the wall because I want to put something on the wall. But you can literally do that. Just go put a pile of crystals in that area and just set your intention of like, I am grounded, I am focused, I am channeling this creative energy of this Aries stellium into the most amazing things. I am creating my happily ever after. I'm making my own dreams come true. I am my own fairy motherfucking godmother and that sort of thing. Okay, so you can do that. It does not have to be complicated. You do not have to go out and buy anything. You don't have to make anything. You can literally grab a few crystals that you already have and put them there. Citrine, I'm getting, would be also great there. Okay, it's got that gold color. Yes, it's yellow, but it's got that gold color, so that would be a great thing to put there. Especially if you're looking to channel your creativity into money, because citrine is the merchant stone. So if you're an entrepreneur, you want to channel your creativity into more prosperity, set a piece of citrine there. And again, nobody needs to see it. Okay. And set it and forget it. Oh, another crystal is this. It's called brownite, or sometimes it's called golden labradorite. This is actually for a client. So it's definitely different than citrine. But this is another crystal that would be great to put there. And I don't remember all the metaphysical properties, but I just saw it and it caught my eye and I was just like, that could go there too. So tons of things you could do. Ooh, tiger's eye. I've got this tiger's eye necklace. So this tiger's eye would be a great thing to put there as I'm like throwing stuff on the floor. Anyway, if you'd like help, message me. Okay. So if you, and actually I'm going to put this out there, just a little spot offer. If you'd like a little mini consultation, not the $333 one, but like, what can I put here to channel my creativity into this area of my life or to this outcome? Okay. I will do that for you for $33. Okay. So message me. I'm going to say 5 spots available for the next, couple days till Wednesday. I don't know why Wednesday. It's my business. I make the rules, right? I've got 5 spots open for $33. Basically, what you would do is you would message me, tell me what you are looking for, and I will give you what to put there, the actual intention to say, or use it as a guideline. You could change it, but I'll give you the structure and the 3 secret reinforcements, which is a $9 value. So if you're looking to just get a taste of Feng Shui and channel that amazing Aries energy into your children and creativity area, into your joy section of your home. So for the 5 people, I will do that for $33. Okay. So you'll get what to do, what to place there, the actual intention that you can use or use as a guideline, and the 3 secret reinforcements. Okay. It's all going to be done through Messenger, but you'll get a Google Doc. You'll get a couple Google Docs. You'll get one with the placement that you need to do and your intention, and then the 3 secret reinforcement ritual. So message me. Again, it's only available till Wednesday, whatever that date is. I think that is the 22nd of April. Yes, the 22nd of April. That'll be available for the next 5 people. So give you just a little of taste of how easy and how amazing Feng Shui is. Okay? Don't go buy a book. It's all generic knowledge, and it's all good knowledge, don't get me wrong, but unless someone comes into your home and sees your home, and I don't physically have to come to your home. I'm a clairvoyant. So you'll have to create a blueprint, and I might ask for pictures, but I don't need to come into your home. I can tell a lot from just your blueprint and from your question, believe it or not. But when someone works with you directly, they can give you a placement that is so aligned for you, aligned with the person that you are. It's going to fit into your decor so it doesn't look like the Feng Shui fairy threw up all over your home, and will manifest super quickly the outcome that you really want. Okay? All right. I hope that's been helpful. Oh my God, look at that. 101. Time to get going. So if you want the $33 or the $333, message me. If you want something else, message me. If you're curious on how I use human design and feng shui, that's a whole other offer. I will have more offers up on my website, which is bringyouTolight.com. So check that. If you're interested in the Align Life program or the business alignment program, let me know as well. Those are not on the website. Those are by application only. So we'd have a 15-minute chat on Zoom to see where you are and what you're looking for, and then see if this program, those containers are bespoke. So they are custom designed for you. What do you need in terms of my support, my intuition, my strategy, clearings, energetic work, things like that, past life regression, Akashic field healing, whatever it is that you need in order to support you to create that outcome that you want, that goal, that dream. Okay. So they're not generic, they are custom designed for you. So we would need to have a conversation. Okay. I hope you've enjoyed this children, and creativity edition of Feng Shui Live. Next week, I will be working on fame and reputation, which is the center back wall of the room or property or home, which is where that window is. Well, kind of sort of where that window is, and how to work with that area and what is that area telling you about, and how to work with it in order to get visible, to be seen, heard, and valued. So this isn't not just about fame as in like I'm gonna be famous and like on TV and a celebrity. It's about, being seen. If you've been passed over for a promotion, this is an area we would work on. If you are going out there and you're dating and people are interested but then ghosting you, this is an area we would work on. If in your business you feel like you are not being seen and valued, this is an area we would look in your personal relationships. If you feel like people are disrespecting you or not valuing you or taking you serious, this is the area that we would work in. So in any area of your life, in most areas of your life, we work on fame and reputation. This is a big one for most people because a lot of people have I don't want to say a visibility wound, but yeah, they're afraid to be seen, they're afraid to be heard, they're afraid to be valued, or they don't feel like they're being seen, heard, and valued. Okay, respected, taken seriously, etc., etc. So that's what we're going to be working on next week. So I hope you'll join me again noon next Friday, April 24th. Okay. I hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy all this yummy energy. Make sure you are grounding and taking care of yourself, because with 7 celestial bodies in Aries, there's a lot of hot tempers going on. There's a lot of possibility for nervous system overload and for burnout. Just make sure you are taking care of yourself, and sunscreen. So as